Hi there, and welcome to the Kulea.ma tutorial on personas. Now, if you are in marketing, you might well already be familiar with the concept of personas. Now, personas are hard-baked into Kulea. You'll find them in the content management platform, you'll find them in the reports, and you will find them in the marketing automation components. But just what is a persona, and how do you build and create them? Well, I'm going to hand over to Vicky to answer that question, and she'll take you through this tutorial. So, Vicky, first question of the day: what is a persona?
Thank you, Andrew. So, a persona is effectively a group or a segment of your target audience. So, for example, it could be all the people that live in London. It could be male or female teachers. It could be cat lovers, first dog lovers. It's completely up to you, and they're unique to your business. And effectively, you're using personas in order to target content to a particular stereotype or group within your data.
Okay.
So the first thing I think we should probably do is set up our first persona, because this will help explain who and what they are.
Okay. Now, I've just noticed on here that I haven't actually created any personas, but there is already a persona on there, Persona X. So who is Persona X?
Right. Now, Persona X is your catch-all. So anybody who falls outside of the personas that you create has Persona X assigned to them.
Okay, so it's like a default persona.
It's a default persona.
Got it.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you'll always have Persona X. He's a difficult chap to get rid of.
All right, Ben. But, I'm assuming that ideally you want to have as few customers sitting within the Persona X designation as possible.
Yeah, ideally. I mean, Kulea is all about targeting content to specific personas.
Rather than generic. Got it. Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Shall we create our first persona?
Let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Manage page, Persona Manage page. I'm going to click Edit Your Personas. And I'm going to click Create New Persona.
Great. Now, we've made the assumption that you've already uploaded your CRM data. And I know that our CRM data lists different job titles. So I think for our first persona, we should target teachers.
Okay, so I'm going to pull this one open. Now, these are shared traits, right, Vicky? So while I'm doing this, while I'm creating in the background, what is a shared trait?
Okay, now when you upload your data, basically we have a look to see if one or more people share a trait. So for example, if you've got a big data set and you've got 10 or more teachers, then you'd be able to use teachers to segment your personas.
Got it.
You wouldn't be able to use an email address, for example, because that's unique to each user. And we've stipulated a minimum of 10 because otherwise you're getting too fine. It's just not worth targeting content for 5 people.
Yeah, absolutely. So personas sound to me like they're kind of quite blunt instruments for segmenting your customer database.
Yeah, that's right.
Good stuff. Okay, so just to talk everyone through what's happening here, I have selected up here the segment that I want to segment by, and it has created a little form field down here, and it has given me a list of all the shared traits within that particular column header, so within the position. It's ordered them by quantity. So the most populous, we've got loads of structural analysis engineers, go figure, and we've got slightly less teachers. So I'm going to click on teachers, and that's going to add 38 teachers to that persona. I'm going to give. It's nice to flesh these guys out a little bit. So let's give a description. To teach, obviously, and make the world a more educated place. All right. Goals. Ooh. Okay. Educating children. Frustrations. Late homework.
So all these goals and frustrations, they're really just helping you identify with that particular persona, aren't they?
Okay, yeah, they're fleshing it out, putting a personality and a face to that data, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
Great.
Now first persona built.
You'll notice down at the bottom that we've got 38 people who have this persona and match the filter criteria, which is great because we started out with
3,026 plus 38, whatever that is.
And our teachers have been inducted from our Persona X.
Great. So we've shaved off the teachers from the Persona X chunk,
Yeah.
shall we say. We've separated them, segmented them. Okay, that makes perfect sense.
All right. Now, I want to be able to target the female teachers over the male because I know that I've got different marketing material for both.
Okay.
So I'd like to create female teachers.
Okay, so it's created persona 2 here. So I'm going to go in. I'm assuming the process is similar to before.
Yep.
So I will select position. But you're also saying you want to do it by gender. Is that
Yes,
right? Okay,
yes.
so I will then select gender. There we go. And let's call this.
Give her a name.
Let's give her a
Sally.
name. Sally. Sally, the teacher. Female. Can't spell. Teachers only. Let's give her a face because it's always nice to put a face on some data. There we go. There's our Sally. So position. We've already stipulated that she has to be a teacher. You could actually add other positions in here. So you might have head teacher, for instance. You might have project manager. So you can build these up as often like as many as you want. But for now, we're just going to have teachers in there. So let's delete project manager. We did want to do it by gender as well. So we have to select which gender. And females. So there's 1,562 females and 38 teachers. However, there's only 19 female teachers. It kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Yep, and none have fallen within this persona. So that's a bit strange, don't you think? I would have expected at least 19 to have this persona.
I would do, but hang on, Vicky. Surely we've preempted. Yeah, this is a leading question, guys. Okay, surely the teacher we created ahead has preempted. So of those 38 personas that meet the teacher, they can only, one contact can only meet one persona criteria.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all lumped under teacher. So none of them are lumped under female teachers. So what we're saying is we actually need to tweak this one a little bit so that it doesn't encapsulate or incorporate all the female teachers.
Sure, that makes sense. So teacher is non-gender specific and hence is catching both male and female at the moment. So what happens if we reorder the priority?
Okay, well, let's drag this one up. So Sally becomes a higher priority than teacher and does a refresh. Any second now. Balls, it was going so well. Let's just force a refresh.
Nice.
Okay, well, there we go. So you can see now that Sally has 19 criteria meeting that persona, and our generic teacher also has 19. The assumption is that these are all females, and the teachers that aren't female are male. So therefore we have 19 males and 19 females. We could probably just firm that one up a little bit by adding gender, because we don't like leaving things loose. So let's just add gender in there. Let's click on male, and let's change it to event teacher. Let's click in Steve, the teacher, and what we said is a male teacher. There we go. Nice and boring there. Apologies. Okay, so now we have Steve the teacher, and then we have Sally the teacher, and we have two nicely fleshed out, very usable personas that we could start targeting communications out to.
Perfect.
Okay, I hope that makes sense to everyone.
Great. Well, I'm keen to see how they're used. So
excellent.
Perhaps we should move on to landing pages or email campaigns.
I think we should. How exciting. Okay.